So we have some further developments on the Shohei Ohtani historic $700 million contract. Since our last video, he actually got some more details out there into the public about the fact that he's deferring 680 million of it until 2034, which is really something that I think is very unprecedented for that percentage of the contract to be so backloaded. And we're here to just talk about the implications of it. What's your thoughts on this whole development with how they structured the deal?
Obviously, it's cheating. The Dodgers found a way to cheat and game the system. There should be no way that something like this is allowed in professional sports. Now, again, this reminds everyone makes fun of the Mets, right? Bobby Bonilla Day. This is going to be worse than that. This is, I don't even know what they're going to call this day. They might make a national holiday from this one. But the truth is, I mean, it's smart by the Dodgers. We were talking about how 70 million, because you figure 10 years was going to be such a burden on the team, but because you can't really go out and get many players. But now when you're talking that they're spreading it out, and now it makes more sense that they have almost unlimited funds to go and continue to get an apparent all-star team, which they almost already had, but now they're just making it even better. I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, again, maybe I don't like it because I'm a hater, because I'm a Rays fan, but I don't know. I just feel like there has to be something that you can't just say, oh, I'm going to pay you everything at the end of the, what you said, 2034 or something like that. It's bull.
Let's take a quick look at the details. Yeah. So yeah, this is Yahoo Sports basically breaking down some more details on the Shohei Ohtani deferring all but 20 million of his $700 million Dodgers contract until after its completion in 2034. So obviously this is huge news. And just to get a little bit more details on it, on Monday, we learned that those deferrals is deferring all but $2 million per year. So he's only going to get $20 million for the next 10 years, $2 million a year. So he's not going to see $880 million of the salary for more than a decade, right? So the deferred portion of that contract will be paid to Ohtani without interest. Okay, remember that, because I'm going to bring a point up, from 2034 to 2043. The deferrals were reportedly Ohtani's idea. The Dodgers officially announced the signing on Monday, but not the terms. So we went on record, and I went on record as saying this was the worst contract ever signed in MLB history. That was before the news of the details on how they structured this deal. So a lot of people think that the Dodgers were geniuses and Ohtani was, being Mother Teresa-like for doing this for his team. But I still going to stand by the fact that I think this is a terrible deal. I think it's horrible all the way around. And I think that, it's very creative. And I think it makes Ohtani look like he's a great person. I'm sure he is. But for deferring the money, I'll tell you, my opinion is that he's actually not smart for doing that, because there's one simple principle that he's leaving out, that he's doing himself a disservice, and it's called the time value of money. And I'll show you a quick chart that just shows that. Okay, not to get too technical for everybody here.
I didn't do that good in school, right?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm showing you this now.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'm bringing it back.
Right.
This is the time value of money for folks that are not that familiar. The idea in principle is that anytime you have money in hand today, which you see at the top, it's worth more than the same amount on a future date, because it can earn returns. So essentially, when you look at this little chart here, right, the top is showing you basically like how your money value is today, right? It's at the highest point. And as time goes on, right, the regular value of that money is going to go down, because instead, with that money, what you could do with that money is invest that money. The investment value grows. So by you not having that money today, you can't put it into investments. You can't have that money working for you. So with Ohtani, right, his deal is he's letting $68 million a year of potential money and investments and things that he could do for himself and his family grow over time. And instead, he's deciding, let me just go get that money, out starting in 2034, which in my opinion is a really bad business decision. And he's doing it, I guess, for the one purpose of helping the Dodgers sign more free agents.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why he is doing this, though, because we're only discussing the Dodgers side of the contract, but he's also got so many $1 million in endorsements where he doesn't really need. I think the last time I saw he was making the most out of the MLB, which makes sense. He was making about $40 million off endorsements. So I guess that right there is gonna go into his investment fund.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Listen, he has the investments. I think I saw something similar, 40 something million a year in endorsements. So he doesn't need the money. We're not saying he needs the money, clearly. But I just think the way that the Dodgers are structuring this deal, it's really kicking the can down the road. The fact is, somebody is going to have to foot that bill later on down the road. And I'm pretty sure in 10 years from now, it's not going to be the current GM. So it's nice to be the GM that signs this massive deal and you backload the heck out of it. But if you're the GM that doesn't have to deal with it when you have to pay out that bill, it's going to be a GM's problem in the future, right? Like the GMs that still have to pay Bobby Bonilla have that problem, right?
I think they kind of like it now though because they get a lot of attention.
I also found out that the Reds are still paying Ken Griffey Jr., so he's still on the payroll. So these are things that and what those guys are getting paid is a fraction of what Ohtani's going to get.
You're talking about Bonilla's like $1 million something. I think Ken Griffey was 3.5 or something million. This is 680 million. You're talking about the deferral.
Yeah, so this is something that you can't just sweep under the rug. Like you could sweep Ken Griffey Jr.'s $3 million under the rug or Bobby Bonilla's 1 point. There's going to be a GM in the future, and I'd be shocked if it's still the same GM. I mean, they move pretty quickly through GMs in the MLB. If it's going to be a new GM, I mean, you're going to hand this guy a gift that says, "Hey, Shohei Ohtani, who's not even playing anymore, is going to take up 680 million total, but 68 million a year." That's when it's going to be time to pay the piper. And we're going to see how Dodger fans are happy with the contract at that point. Check in with us in 2034.